welcome to a brand new episode of Coming Distractions, brought to you by the Nerdpocalypse podcast. I'm your host, Jay. I'm here with my co-host, Demetrius.
What's going on?
All right, guys, we're back. This episode, we're going to review Red Sparrow. This is the spy film starring Jennifer Lawrence and directed by Francis Lawrence, of no relation. Before we start the review, I would just like to say Francis Lawrence is known for directing 3 out of the 4 Hunger Game movies. So take that knowledge with what Demetrius is going to tell you about Red Sparrow. So, Demetrius, you saw this movie.
I did.
I was actually semi-interested in this because this felt like a blatant attempt to make a Black Widow movie that Marvel never made. So, we have talked offline. This is not really that at all. So give the general premise real quick and then talk about your thoughts on it.
Okay, so I didn't see any of the previews moving into this movie, and when I heard that it was like a Black Widow knockoff, I was thinking, oh, well, she's going to be a child growing up in the Red Room, and then therefore she's going to be a Red Sparrow. Not at all. All right, so general premise is Jennifer Lawrence is a Russian ballerina. She gets coerced into going to a Russian school called the fourth district or the fourth school of Russia or something or another, which is basically a spy school that teaches seduction and intimacy. And this is of both sexes, not just women, but of men as well. And her entire goal is to find the mole within the high rankings of the Russian government by finding his handler. And within the American government. And with that being said, there's a whole lot of intrigue and flipping of allegiances on both sides. And between political stuff that I haven't even told Jay about, and the amount of violence in this movie. When I say violence, I'm talking about the graphic nature of what you are seeing.
Because this is rated R, which
super R.
Yeah, I guess I wasn't really expecting it. I thought they would probably go for something maybe a little lighter to sort of try to pull in that crowd. But apparently, this is like a pretty brutal movie in a lot of ways. I
mean, you all can't see it, but I essentially, dislocated my knee last week. There's something that happens in this movie that made me cringe and bang the damn table, when I saw it, because not only did you see it, you heard it. And this was not an IMAX theater. It was that graphic. So the sound engineer knew what he was doing.
Oh, good. Look, it's a full experience.
Man.
So, okay, let's talk about the general performances. How was Jennifer Lawrence and Joel Edgerton, who are the sort of the main leads of this?
Okay, so as far as Joel Edgerton is concerned, I forgot that he was an orc that played opposite of Will Smith, because he was an actual real person in this movie. Like, I don't know if it was the writing or
that poor guy.
Because you just can't realize it. You just can't think that this dude who's like, what are we gonna do?
Yeah, he kind of played like a buffoon.
Yeah, and like he I guess he lived that character, because in this character he's a CIA handler, and he's convincing. As far as Jennifer Lawrence, she is. I don't know. This is where you kind of have to like wonder if she was truly into the character, because she wasn't supposed to have any kind of emotions whatsoever when she was doing the things that she was doing.
Right.
Because she was wooden as hell until this one moment when she was genuinely surprised.
That sounds like Jennifer Lawrence that I know. But go ahead.
Yeah, man. Like she was genuinely surprised in this moment, because I saw the movie with my friend Mimi, and she pointed it out. She's like, that's the first time I saw light in her eye.
She's taken some time off of acting, which is kind of interesting, but I think it's probably, I feel like she's a little burnt out. Like, she's been doing a lot of films. So maybe it works in this though.
I guess, because you saying that she took a break.
She's getting ready to.
Oh, she's getting ready to. Oh, well, she went out for on a bang, because not only was she graphic in some of the things that she was participating in, but she was naked for a good portion of the movie.
Yeah, and that's the report.
I had to ask, like, is that a body double? And then he's like, oh man, no, I don't see any like weird CGI like I would like on a lip on Superman or something or another. So no, that's her.
No, and the reports are it actually is her. So
yeah, well, like the as far as the performances go, they were solid for what I think that they were going for. Jeremy Irons, I mean, the guy is as creepy as he's always been, but his accent slips a lot. He just says, F it, I'm going to just talk the way that I want to talk.
Yeah, I can't imagine Jeremy Irons doing a convincing Russian accent just because his regular accent and his voice is so specific.
It's distinct as hell.
It's really distinct. Like, I can't imagine this British accent being sort of curved into a Russian accent. Not well, but that's okay. Irons is still a great actor, though.
And then there's this one other actor who is Jennifer Lawrence's uncle in the movie. And I don't know who he is. He might be a straight up Russian actor, but he would think that he was Vladimir Putin's like brother.
Really?
Like stoic, has little to say. When he does say it, he means it, and because he facilitates everything. He's the head of the SVT or the SVR,
Oh, okay.
And so there's a whole lot of, oof.
So let's talk about this. You were saying offline that the action sequences, well, let me rephrase that. Did you see Atomic Blonde?
No, but I know for a fact that they were nowhere near as visceral.
Okay, that's one. That's one of the things I want to ask.
Like Atomic Blonde was like a kinetic type of action film where you could compare it to Jason Bourne or something like
John Wick.
right? John Wick, right? No, this was a slow, methodic. If something were to happen, it was going to shock the hell out of you.
Okay.
There was torture scenes in it, and like they made you sit through it, and let's just say if you take a metal baton and a pillow, the pillow doesn't do much to abate the amount of pain you're going to get from that baton, and they made you watch that.
Okay. I'm more and more intrigued.
Yeah,
I don't mind a good violent scene. Yeah, I mean maybe not that scene, but so overall, your score out of 5 is
it was slow in some parts, but it still kept you engaged. So with that and the graphic imagery, and the fact that it was one of those spy thrillers that you didn't know what was happening until like the last 5 minutes, so you were always thinking. I had got to give it one of those 4s out of 5s because it was decent, and I was really thinking it was going to be one of those whack knockoffs. And
I will be perfectly honest. I am not a huge Jennifer Lawrence fan. I just am not. And when I saw this trailer, I was like, no, I'm not seeing this. But the second trailer I saw for it, I did think the trailer, I mean, look, fair is fair. I did think the second trailer looked really good.
Mm-hmm.
But at that point, I was kind of like, I'll wait to hear.
But
it's good.
The first 10 minutes sets the tone and lets you know that this is going to be something that you're going to just have to like grit your teeth to get through, because you want to know what happened or what happens or who belongs to who, and how many different times a secret agent can flip from one allegiance to another and still stay alive in the process.
Right.
So, yeah.
Okay, there you go. There's our review for Red Sparrow. Check that out. That's in theaters now. Also, check out, we have recent reviews for Annihilation, Black Panther, and Game Night are also up. So check those things out, and we will see you guys next time.
See you.
Bye. You're watching the Nerdpocalypse YouTube channel. Make sure you click that button to subscribe and check out our weekly podcast where we talk about movie, TV, news, tech, and weird stories from around the internet.